Well, hello, my friends. Welcome to our call-in show. Must be Thursday night. It's 7:05 Central Time, March the 5th. Call-in show has begun. You guys know what to do. All you got to do is pick up the phone, dial us up on the studio line. You got to be a subscriber over on X. You can also be a subscriber on Locals, or you could be a member of the channel on YouTube. I don't know why everybody has a different name for it, but they do. Everybody's got a different name for it. So if you're in one of those places, you'll have access to our phone line, and then you can just dial us up, and this is your show. So it's whatever you guys are about. You get about 5 minutes, maybe a couple more minutes. I don't know. Kind of depends on how it goes. But that's kind of our time limit as a general rule, so we can kind of get everybody who wants to chat. And when we're done, we're done. I didn't bring anything for you, so you bring it to me. Caller number one, you're on the line. Welcome to the program.
What's up, man? It's Tech Venus.
There he is. I saw you were throwing some spicy, like some graphics in the Locals chat. What was that all about?
It's just getting ridiculous, man. All the Israel first selling every American out for a nation that was just established after World War II, not even remotely the same as a biblical one. So just, salty for the fact that there's probably some really well-meaning people who are just steeped in biblical ignorance and are, the doddering old folks that just don't want to get themselves out of that. You know what I mean? They have like a pit of ignorance. It looks okay to them. They just want to sit there and they don't want anything to shake them out of their preconceived notions, which you're familiar with plenty of people like that, I'm sure.
There are plenty of them like that. So, all right. Well, you saw this. That's the spicy memes. What else is going on? What's going on in your world? What are you calling in to share with me?
Well, I noticed a lot of stuff on X and a lot of things that were being reported about that one senator from Montana, Tim Sheehy, and what he was doing. Yeah, basically, he's not as flamboyantly gay for Israel as obviously the South Carolina famous senator is, but clearly he's definitely, we could see his AIPAC numbers. He's somebody who is very super pro-Israel, pro-lobby, Israel lobby, everything like that. And also noticing some things about that one character, James Tallarico, and some of the blasphemous things that he's said, that I'm sure you as a Catholic would definitely take umbrage with. A lot of this being Christians, being pro-choice type things. And how does that make you feel when you hear people say that being a Christian, you should be pro-choice? How does that make you feel?
It's just completely illogical, but none of those people are trying to reach out to me. They're reaching out to a totally different audience, obviously.
Yeah, it's a level of blasphemy that's just absolutely absurd. And it reminds me of something that I've read before. I've gone back and looked at all kinds of these old early Christian writings, and we're talking about things that are after the established scriptures that we have in the Bible, right?
Sure.
So we're talking early Christians after that, and I look at them as early biblical commentaries. Some of them were even written by people who knew the apostles, not necessarily inspired word, but they knew the apostles who did write the inspired word. And so they would be more familiar with some of the early teachings, right?
Sure.
And there's something mentioned in the Didache in Barnabas, the letter of Barnabas, dated from between 70 and 132 AD. It's a big window, but it's hard to really narrow this stuff down. And something that they said back then, early Christians, right? Thou shalt not slay the child by procuring abortion, nor again shalt thou destroy it after it is born. This is not a new subject that is unique to our current timeline in human history. This has been going on since back in the apostles' times, back early times of humanity. So the idea that people still try and play off the Christian values, yet you should be a good Christian, but you should also adhere to this one thing that is clearly at odds with everything about Christianity and about loving God and about obeying God. That stuff always just strikes me as some of the most blasphemous things people can say, and yet they do it. they say it, and there's clapping seals that will just cheer them on.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a commandment about it as well.
Yeah.
Just like if we want to get real simple. What is it? The fifth commandment? Is that right?
You can get so simple with these people, but they will bend themselves utterly backwards and tie themselves into just knots that aren't even anatomically possible to try and make an argument to get exactly what they want. Just like I'm sure that guy will eventually say at some point in time, maybe even already said it, that supporting transgenderism as being a Christian. I bet he'll come out and say
no, he's done that. He said that 100%.
Like,
he thinks we need to be careful. I've got some clips of him talking about how not only do we need abortion, but we need abortion to support our trans community. That's a Tallarico thing.
Dude, he does actually look like a girl. I'll be honest, man. He looks like a girl that's trying to be a guy, and who's maybe done a decent job at it, but he's just like a pure feminism little dude, like he's full of estrogen. It's freaking creepy.
He is an effeminate version of Beto O'Rourke, which is pretty impressive. It's Beto O'Rourke without the skateboard.
Yeah, even more gay, right? It's like I can't even believe that's possible.
It's possible. Yeah. We saw it, but yeah. All right, I'll give you final thoughts. Anything you want to add in there, and then we'll see if anybody else wants to come in and share their opinions on whatever they would like.
I'm just going to put in, I put a video on Locals of me feeding Syrup, who is a gentle and caring snapping turtle, and he doesn't bite my finger. People can see he is very gentle.
Did you make it a subscriber post, or is it available to everybody?
It's just on your page thing.
If you go into the three dots and where it says you can share the post, drop it in the Rumble chat if you would, and I'll share it over with the people who are on YouTube if they want to check it out too, and then we can share it across our chat platforms. Or Rose will do it. Or Rose will do it.
Okay, yeah, I'll drop it in the Rumble.
Very good.
All right, man.
All right, good talking to you.
All right, peace.
Have a good evening. And that's how you do it. Nice and easy. Kaboom. I don't know why I had this hat on, folks. I saw an advertisement for a similar hat on Instagram, and I have had this hat for years. It's not anything special. It's from Merrill, and I don't even know why I bought it, but it was like on a pro deal or something when I had a Merrill, whatever that is. I had special pricing for being a paramedic with Merrill Outdoor, so I bought it. It's made in Chinese. I actually do have legitimate Irish hats that are just like this, but this one is not that. This one is from Chinese and has a label that says as much. So there you go. I was out doing stuff today, and it was a hat day. Switching it up on you. All right, the phone line is open. You guys may have seen this too. I just tossed it up on the screen, and I might just drop it in over here. Well, I'll show you what. I'll put it up on the current screen that we're on right now. I've got the Tackleberry project starting to take shape. I'm going to just drop it all over us. Here we go. All right, so let's see what we can figure out. Let's make this smaller. There we go. I'll just cover me up for a second. You guys can take a look. This is what's being built. And I've been spending quite a bit of time on it, but it's covering the screen up right now. You guys can see there's some weapons up there. There's going to be some visuals along with it. There's a flamethrower and a microphone for those who are able to see it. And it is slowly coming along. So one step at a time. I'm neurotic about making it look the way that I want it to look, and that's it. Looks like caller number 2 is on the line. Number 2, you are on the program. Who am I speaking to?
Michael.
Hello, Michael.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I've been listening to you from the very, 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 very beginning.
All the way back in the RV.
So, yeah, all the way back to the RV, exactly.
Outstanding.
Exactly.
Michael, what part of the country are you in?
Yeah. I live in Ohio, but I'm a truck driver, and I'm on the road right now, so just kind of hanging out in my truck.
Fair enough. Okay. What's on your mind tonight?
So I was listening to your show today. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir. I sure can.
Okay, great, because I'm on my speaker. So I was listening to your show today, and you played a clip from Thomas Massey about whether or not Trump is conducting a legal war. Mm-hmm. And I like Thomas Massey. Actually, Thomas Massey is my mom's representative in Congress. She lives in northern Kentucky.
Okay.
And And I like what he does, but I think his comments today were, I don't have all the facts, but I think they were disingenuous in the way that he was presenting them. And I think the whole subject is something that we just get really confused about, and people aren't really sure, so they just kind of listen to whoever is on their side, and that's the side that they take. They get tribal about it.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think so. For instance, and Thomas Massey may or may not know this, and I apologize. I'm on the road. I don't have all my documents and books and so on and so forth with me to look all this up. But as I understand it, there was an original draft of the Constitution that was presented to the Constitutional Convention in 1787,
mm-hmm.
and that original draft gave Congress the right to, quote, make war. All right. And then that was submitted out. And I'm sure that Thomas Jefferson was probably sent a copy of that particular document. But Thomas Jefferson was not in the Constitutional Convention. He was not a delegate to the convention. He was in France at the time. And so, communications being what they were in 1787, I'm sure that he probably made comments about what he saw in that original draft, and he probably agreed that, yes, Congress should have the ability to, quote, make war, all right? But because he wasn't a delegate, because he wasn't there, because there's probably a time lag between him communicating back to James Madison and actually what actually occurred in the Constitutional Convention over that summer in 1787,
mm-hmm.
that they debated this issue and they decided to take away Congress's power to, quote, make war, and only gave Congress the power to declare war.
Mm-hmm.
So all they could really do was either affirm or suggest that the President of the United States actually conduct a war, and they also decided in that convention to make the President of the United States the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces. So they clearly, in the Constitution, in the final draft that was ratified, basically gave all the power to make war in one person, and that is the President of the United States. And so I think
you're having the word make and declare very, very specific. And I'm sure there is a very good litigious reason for that. And I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just kind of listening to it. At the time, there was no concept of a standing army either, though.
Correct.
So and so I'm not saying that that's not wrong, and I'm not saying that Tom Massey was being disingenuous or that he was even being an honest operator in that case. He's obviously coming from a perspective. I wonder, and I don't think it's necessarily false. That's kind of why I included that article today. I wonder if the idea of a declaration of war is outdated for a lot of reasons, tactical if nothing else, because the speed of communication is so specific.
Correct. Well, Congress has actually only formally declared war 11 times in our history. And the last time that they declared war was in 1942.
Mm-hmm.
So the first time that they declared...
Carry on. Keep going.
Okay. All right. So the first time they declared war was in the War of 1812, and the next one was the Mexican War. And then the next time was the Spanish-American War.
Yep.
So that's 3 times. And then twice in World War I, Germany, and then Austria-Hungary, and then 6 times in World War II. And
just
so
for all
that
the
was the last
powers.
time that Congress... Yeah. Yes, correct.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the last time that Congress actually declared war. So all this, tribalism running around saying Donald Trump is conducting an illegal war and we have to declare war. I mean, we didn't declare war in Vietnam, in Korea, in Kosovo, or I forget all the other.
Yeah, Bosnia, Herzegovina, all of that. Yep, Balkans.
Bosnia, exactly. Gulf War I, Gulf War II, so on and so forth.
Afghanistan, Iraq #2, all of it. I know, I totally agree with you. And there may be a reason. It would be nice if people actually wanted to get together And first of all, they've kind of half-ass ceded the power, but they haven't done it completely. And so we have this. I think Tom Massey, I think he's a stickler for procedural issues in some ways. And maybe it's performative. Yeah. Maybe it is. I think also he's pointing out a pretty obvious hypocrisy that Trump said one thing, he's doing something different. No matter how anyone feels about it, that's pretty clear. You're giving a lot of room for the other team if you don't think Democrats are able to capitalize on that, and they certainly have been pointing this out, and I see it nonstop. So they've left a lot of room for that. But the idea that we might have an outdated concept of what a declaration of war looks like, we're living it, whether or not we've agreed to it. Would that make sense to you, or would you agree with that?
Well, for instance, the Congress passed the War Powers Act in 1973.
Correct.
It was a Democratic Congress. They submitted the bill to Nixon. He vetoed it, and they overrode his veto. So no president has ever really agreed that Congress has the power over whether or not the president of the United States can prosecute a war. But the Congress has always tried to hang their hat on this ability that they have this power. And I don't have my information, but it's my understanding that I think a couple of times Congress tried to sue the president or the executive over this act, and the Supreme Court just won't take the case because they don't want to get involved. Mm-hmm. And so it's just kind of hanging out there. Congress thinks they have this authority, but no president has ever agreed that this is a constitutional law.
Interesting. In other words, that Nixon vetoed it, and so no president has ever signed it in law. But it did go into force of law with the way that it does. If you override a presidential veto, that's an override. It's just as good as anything else. Yeah. But you're just saying the executive has never really accepted it.
The executive has never accepted. No executive has ever accepted that Congress has this power. Now they try with their best to comply with it. And that's why we've had a number of resolutions. George Bush went to Congress in 2004 or 2003, to get quote authorization to go to war in Afghanistan, after 9/11 and so forth. But it's never really been a power that any executive has agreed that the Congress. And now Congress does have the power of the purse in the Constitution. And the reason we got out of Vietnam is because Congress pulled the funding and we had to withdraw.
Yeah,
so they do have that power.
You kind of think that will probably never happen. I haven't seen them defund anything else, even the ones that are the agencies going after them. Let's leave it there. I will drop a link for anybody that wants to see it. This is the War Powers Resolution, which is Chapter 33 of the U.S. Code, or Title 33, I guess now. Title 50, Chapter 33. You guys can read it. It's a very short little law. There are 3 provisions at the bottom that says when the commander-in-chief is able to use it. And I'll read them to you real quick. If there's a declaration of war is one time when they can go to war. The other is specific statutory authorization. Very nebulous in that. And then the last, this is when you can use armed forces for hostilities. And the last one is a national emergency when there's attack on us. I don't think it includes you start the attack like you're hearing Mike Johnson say, and then you say they're attacking us back. I don't think that plays as well. But it is an interesting concept. That's why I actually dropped it in this morning's comments, both on YouTube and on Rumble. People can go back and read. There's an article that was written that said, is this an antique idea and should we move on from it? In which case, there probably should be a statutory fix. And Congress hasn't taken it up yet. I tend to agree with you that they're not going to defund any Department of War, Department of or DOD. So we're going to be in a weird spot where people are going to, I think they're just going to grandstand about it, and it'll make for good speeches, and it'll make for the left and the right to have some contention. Well, I don't feel strongly either way, by the way. So
yeah, and the act itself allows the president to conduct a war for 60 days without having to go to Congress. Mm-hmm. And so, a lot of executives just hang their hat on that. And then, the industrial complex, gets into motion and people don't want to stop.
That's right.
And so, Afghanistan lasts 20 years, so forth.
No question about it. I think there'll be less and less of an appetite for that, and I think that the big difference is the dissemination of decentralized media. Now will have a big player in this, and real-time war footage, the things that were happening in Ukraine, I think soured a lot of people from what they were seeing because it looks pretty awful. So it'll be interesting to watch it. Again, I don't feel passionately one way or another. I think technically there's probably an argument there, and I think people could probably debate the finer points. And I'm not pissed at Tom Massey for making the point, and I kind of would like it if people just kept their promises. So, and if there's a reason to update the promise, if Donald Trump had to come back and say, look, I said peace, but here's what I mean, and this is why I kind of changed my mind, that seems like it'd be worth an Oval Office address to the American people at this point.
Yeah,
and maybe not a 2 a.m. Wearing a USA hat to an empty room. That may not be the best move, but we'll see.
Exactly. Prime time. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that would be the right move. All right, brother. I'm going to let somebody else jump in if that sounds good to you. If you have further thoughts on it a little bit, by all means. And it's nice to hear your voice, and I appreciate you diving in and addressing a more robust topic than sometimes we cover at night.
Thanks, Kyle.
Have a good one. Drive safe.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, there you go. Very nice. Sometimes we talk about serious stuff. Sometimes we just say silly things. Could go either way. If you're dialing in, you got the wrong number. Make sure you guys have the right number. I just saw someone kick in, but all the other numbers that I've previously used, they all either go to somebody else now. I don't keep them. So just be aware. They won't stay with us here. The phone number is the most recently one. What was it posted? Give me a second here. I'll find out what it was starting with if you guys are trying to make sure you're on the right one. If you guys have never used the Sudo app, it's an interesting little capability you can have. I'm going to drop this and bring it back up. It's called My Sudo. I use this thing, and you guys can, if you have a business and you want to have a throwaway phone number, if you want to have temporary phone numbers, if you need to change your phone numbers regularly for any particular reason, any other kind of sketchy stuff, there are good reasons, and then there are sketchier type reasons. But by all means, check out the Sudo app. Let's see. It starts with 726. Those are the first three. It's an area code 726. I have no idea where I got this one. Sometimes I choose an area code that actually is nearby, but it's not always the case. Sometimes I just get some random ones. So there you go. And whoever's trying to call in right now, you got the wrong number, so maybe you got last month's number. Double check it. Double check your phone number. And they automatically go away. So that's just for keeping my sanity. All right. I also brought something, which I thought was kind of funny. And while we're waiting on a caller, I want to play this. This is the differential. And I think it has to do with social media. This is just kind of a thing to chew on. There was an attitude switch some point in time. I don't remember what happened, but we moved from being excited about the doorbell and people coming over and people knocking on your door and you're like, pretend like you're not home. I don't know anybody that gets excited about the phone or the door knock or the doorbell. Like everyone looks up like, who the hell's invading my world? And I think that changed with social media. You guys tell me. This is what's his name? Sebastian Maniscalco. He's a stand-up comedian. He's making a funny point on something I just shared. It's not really podcast related, but I do think it's cultural and I think it's relevant. So I'll let you guys chew on this. And if anybody wants to comment on it after you've heard it, then I'll let you do that. Well, okay, we'll take the call first. We'll take the call first since this number was trying to get in earlier. All right, call number 3. You were trying hard to get in. You were getting kicked out by the old number. Sorry about that.
No worries. You recognize the number probably anyway.
Welcome.
How's it going? This is Owen.
All right, how we doing, Owen?
Keeping busy. I got to go in real quick for it. I was just thinking of something. I was watching this stuff about Iran and Venezuela. And I don't know if you've watched any of this stuff on China and their kind of 5th generation warfare and what they're doing. And South America was like a place they were trying to make it hard for us, and then also the Middle East. And so I think by going after the South American problem, if you will, in Venezuela, right, that whole the communism between Venezuela, Lula, and Brazil, and then Cuba, that potentially taking away the problem, because it's not done yet. But I mean, we're trying to make that problem like less. And then the same thing with the Middle East, because Iran was a big proxy for a lot of money to pass a lot of terrorist organizations. I think they're trying to do is theoretically listen to that kind of advice. They said that China's already got us in a war. They're doing the 5th generation war, where it's not really a hot war. It's like a cold war, and they're trying to distract us. So theoretically, if we had less problems in in South America and less problems in the Middle East, then we would have more focus on China. And it has hurt China as far as, their influence there has been weakened by taking out the guy in Venezuela, and we'll see if it works in Iran too. So that's what I've read that kind of stuff or seen that kind of stuff. Talk about that at all or not?
That's something that George Hill brought up when we were kind of talking about it before this Iran thing kicked off. He said basically, the major arguments in favor are hitting the Chinese, and not as a proxy, but in order to kind of kick out a leg from their table or their stool, which is maybe not a 4-legged anymore, it's a 3-legged, and so it destabilizes them. One, for oil, two, like you said, for some additional support in this hemisphere and some raw materials and so on, and rare earth minerals and whatnot. So yeah. I think people who've been paying attention to this and care about sort of the broader political argument for the rest of the world, how does the United States play on that stage? Yeah, I think they've been paying attention to that. I know my buddy George was talking about it to me. I was having a conversation with Alex Jones's son the other day on their podcast, which is called The Gray Area, and they were making the same point. And they said, what do you think it's about? I said, I think it's about China. That's the smartest move. The question is whether or not we needed to be in something about China. And
I agree.
For whatever it's worth, George's assessment, and I tend to lean on that as well, was like, we could just let the Chinese collapse under their own weight. Their biggest problem the Chinese have is that they have this big demographic issue. They had a one-child policy for a very long time. They had only male children. And so you got a bunch of like military-age men that are starting to age out of military age, and they're going to be supported by the state, which is going to be, that's probably why COVID was created. If we were going to be getting real conspiratorial and speculative, it's like, wouldn't you want to be able to get rid of some of your population at a certain age, since COVID seems to be pretty good?
The old and infirm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a guy, I watched a video, he was giving a presentation to the War College of someplace, and he was talking about, if you draw like the population pyramid, right, you have the youngest as the biggest, widest in the base, and it gets more the slope, depends on the slope of that pyramid, right, so you have more young and less old.
Right.
But in some places, like China, for example, is almost vertical, maybe even a little bit upside down because of the fact that they have people living longer with all this medical technology, and they're not making enough babies. So yeah, I think Russia's in the same place too. So China is it's a ticking time bomb for them, depending on what they do, because there's not enough women to go around, so they were actually getting rid of them. Right? A buddy of mine actually adopted a girl from China, so she was like an orphan because of this whole policy. They just dumped her off the people in China dumped her off at this orphanage, and they were able to adopt her that way. So I mean, yeah, that's one of these things. But the U.S. is doing better. It's kind of funny though that illegal immigrants come in here and have a bunch of kids, which is not always the case of people who have already been here. So it's kind of a conflicted about that whole, if you talk about just birth, just the concept of birth, and replacement rate birth. So I don't know. It's a tough one. I mean, but yeah, I get you on that China one that way for sure.
It's hard going out. When I was a kid, I had 4 other siblings. So my parents had 5 kids that were the youngest. I had a half brother that was 10 years older. He aged out pretty quick. But for those of us that were in my brood of the 5, we'd go out, and we were a relatively large family at the time. And now I go out with my 4, and people go, "Oh my God, you have 4 kids." And yeah, obviously there's some of the super families that have 5 and 7 and 9, and we've got friends who have those, and I think it's awesome. Yeah. I mean, it's super cool to see it, but the idea that 4 children is a lot is sad and bizarre. It's just like you go out and I think like it's kind of like I feel like we didn't have enough, and we started so late that I think we did as good as we could do, and maybe we'll have one more, God willing, kind of thing. Like I'd have another child. I know my wife would be into it, and it's like, but our population, we have immigrant families that are coming in and having 6, 8, 9 kids, and they can't support any of them, and they have no. I talked to a guy today, and of course he's smart, he's responsible, he's a Marine, a retired Marine now, or got out of the Marine Corps. And I said, "You have kids?" And he goes, "Not yet. I'm trying to make a fiscally responsible decision." And it's like, shit, that's the beginning of idiocracy. Like, I remember. No,
you can't. Yeah.
And I understand where he's coming from. I did the same thing. Yeah, no, that's it. You just got to jump in. I was like, you can't underestimate how good it is. He wanted to wait for some healthcare, and I don't hate that idea either. But also, you can't really waste any time, can you? You got to get after it.
It's easier to, you're ignorant and dumb when you're young, so it's easier to start that way because you don't know it's not going to be.
Well, and also
older and wiser, maybe you think too much about it.
We did an interview with I can't remember Marty's last name, but we had the guy that shot the bear in his kitchen. I'm going to remember it in a second here.
Yeah, I saw that.
And you know what he said? He's like, that energy that you have to be doing all-nighters when you're in college is so that you can stay up all night with sick babies and make sure they sleep through the night. Yes. Like, that's what that's for. And it's like, oh, well, that makes perfect sense to me. Like, I'm sure that's true. And then when you do it when you're 40 something, which I've been doing for the last couple of years, it's freaking brutal. I mean, I have to stay up till 10 o'clock every night. Yeah. And I look at the clock at about 8:45 and I go, oh no, it's going to be another 75 minutes till I go and pull my kid out of his bunk to go take him pee. It's like, oh, it's brutal. It's brutal.
See, I didn't do that. We just got the pull-ups and let nature take its course.
Nah, man, I'm dragging him up. We have a moment. Like
I know.
He's a zombie every single night.
He's being trained though.
It's pretty funny. He's a zombie that I pick up. He's completely limp. There's nothing funnier than that. And I haul him over, and then I scoop underneath his arms, and he just hangs there like a limp fish. And then I tell him, I'm like, we're at the toilet, and he starts peeing, and then I have to pull his undies up with one arm and pick him up with the other, and then I fling him back into his bed. We got a really funny routine, so I wonder how long I'm gonna have to do it.
Yeah. Nothing says I love you like you're pissing in my arms while I'm carrying you to the bathroom.
That's exactly right. You know what? Like, I'm never going to have that moment again. I'm doing it I don't know how long I've been doing it, but I've been doing it probably a year, maybe more. And one day he'll probably be big enough to whip my ass. And I'll say, I get the pull-up. I did the pull-ups, man, and let them figure it out. Because I tried that, but I've done 2 or 3 of those. And so I'm like, by the third one, I'm like, you know what? You're just wearing some pull-ups. That way you want to do it, great. If you don't, whatever, no big deal. Well, my girls got potty trained really, really well. So, for some reason,
they're better. Yeah, they're better for that.
Girls have it figured out differently. Guys, my son sleeps like a freaking stone. So God bless him. He's completely solid.
It's a developmental thing in their brain. My wife was saying so. There's a developmental thing in their brain. So it's probably just not time. But that's you do your thing. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I get it.
The easy way is just to buy some pull-ups.
Yeah,
call it good.
I could.
After a while, after a few, you go get.
I'm committed.
Take an easy way.
I'm committed this time for this guy. Okay. All right, bud. Final thought, and then I'll.
Watching my brothers.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say. One thing that's funny is we talk about all this money being wasted on taxes and stuff. And I started thinking about how we had talked earlier, people in general talked about how the top 1% pays X amount of percentage in taxes and the top 5% pays, 75% of all the taxes. I'm thinking, so those are the guys getting screwed. And the rich guys pay a shit ton more, pardon my language, pay a shit ton more language or more money than we do. So really the guys getting screwed are the guys with all the money. I always like that. I just thought that just popped in my head. Weird thoughts I have. That's my final thing.
It's 100% true. You go and you look at like who pays the taxes, and I've got I think I've got it here. I just pulled it up just for funsies. This is from the Institute on Taxation and Economic Policy. That sounds like a pretty non-political group. Total shares of tax paid by every income group. It looks like total income, total taxes. The top 1% in America earns 21% of all total income, and they pay 24.1% of all taxes. Yeah. And then
it slides backwards. It's like the lower guys as you go. Like the next bracket still pays more than they make.
Yeah, it's 15.5 versus 16.3. Yep. And then you get to the top 15%. It's about 25.5 to 26.1. And then once you get into the top quarter, no, it's not even below that. Yeah. What does it say? The fourth bracket is going to be the top 20%. And when you get to 20%, it's 18% of the income, but it's only 17% of the taxes.
Yep. It's progressive tax system, literally and figuratively, I guess.
That's it. That's exactly right. Yeah. And it gets upside down like right after the top 15%. So the top 15% of the highest incomes are paying the most. And then everybody else ends up paying less than their share, according to this stuff. So go figure.
Yeah, they collect more than they put in.
Okay. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. That's good. Good talking to you.
All right, brother. Thanks so much. Appreciate the call.
All right. You're welcome. All right. Bye.
All right. There we go. That's 3 calls. Yeah, I've got this open white screen over here. It's terrible. All right. Get that off my face. Good Lord. It's bright. I spend way too much time in this chair. We had a meeting about the lawsuit. We're suing the FBI. So I had a meeting about that a little bit. I've been working on some video stuff. I've got this here. I'll show you guys. For those who saw the other day, this is the sling bag from Silent. This is like a major fanny pack or a cross bag. And there's a pistol in here and some other stuff. And I did a use video so that we can kind of show it. It's a neat concept. I don't hate the idea. Whenever I see these dudes now who are wearing them, though, I know exactly what's going on there. I'm like, you are not wearing a fanny pack. You are carrying a pistol across your chest. And I'm not mad at you, but also I was in a gun store. So just saying. All right. I will wait for a couple seconds to see if somebody wants to jump on the line. And if not, then we're going to go to this sort of cultural thing. And maybe you guys want to sound off on that. We'll get a caller or two in on it. The idea that we used to be more connected, we used to get more excited about having somebody bang on our door. and pop in, that company was a concept that we were looking forward to. And I think in the world where social media exists, I think text messaging was probably the first step to this. Even cell phones where I could immediately reach out and get a hold of you. We started expecting people to notify us before they showed up, and we weren't too keen if they did show up. And it's like, well, what do I need to know from you? I can see what you've done on Facebook, or I can check out what's going on in the group chat or whatever else. And all of that is kind of the opposite of how it used to be. So anyway, this is kind of one of those funny little moments where if we could go back, it was better for everybody.
I was sitting in my house a couple weeks ago, just relaxing. My doorbell rang. This is weird. It's a different feeling when your doorbell rings today opposed to 20 years ago, right? 20 years ago, your doorbell rang. That was a happy moment in your house. It's called company. You'd be sitting there on a Thursday night watching TV. Your doorbell rang. The whole family shot off the couch. Oh my God! Put the lights on. Somebody's here. We got people. The whole family went to the door. The kids were in socks. They slid up to the door. Nobody looked to see who it was. Right? You just opened up the door. You were like, oh my God, look at that. Look at us here. And you'd ask them, what the hell are you doing here? And the person would be like, I was in the neighborhood. I thought I might stop by, see how the kids are doing. They're like, oh, come on in. We're gonna have some cake. Your mother had a little Entenmann's. Maybe some Sara Lee crumble cake. Just in case company came over. She made an announcement when she bought it. She's like, listen, nobody touch this cake. This is for company only. Those crap muffins, those are for you people. You better hope to God somebody comes over so we can cut the cake. She put her cake in the middle of the table, proud of it. And she put it right in the middle. Cut yourself a slice. Want a cup of coffee? We're gonna do want some Sanka?
All right. We're going to come back to it. We're going to come back to that. Caller number 4. You're on the air.
What's up, brother?
How we doing?
You just come off the set of Peaky Blinders, man? That's crazy. That's crazy. I love the cap.
It's from Chinese. It's not even Irish, although I do have Irish versions. This is not one of them.
I'm just busting balls, bro. Just busting balls.
It's one of those days where it's like it was the most available hat.
There you go, man. No,
Yeah.
it's not bad, bro.
Little different look.
Balls.
People are not ready for it. They don't know what to do with this. They're like, "What's going on with this hat?"
Hell no, they don't.
They go, "Was that herringbone, Seraphin? Is that herringbone?"
And it ain't a red hat, so they can't bitch about that.
That's right. This is not low vis, though.
No, man.
People notice.
Do what?
I said people know it if you wear a hat that's not like a baseball cap and it's not a cowboy hat. They recognize it. So there you go.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it looks a little different.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I'll tell you what, you and Steve friend need to start your own damn comedy hour. Your guys' sarcasm and his dry humor, man, it is spot on. It is hilarious.
Well, it's keeping us sane, so there's that.
Do what?
It's just a sanity exercise.
Man, the way you guys clown on Cash and Dan, I holy shit.
I shouldn't.
I didn't want to believe it.
All right, I'm going to actually send.
I didn't want to believe it.
I'm going to send something to my phone, and I'll put it on the screen for people to see that we've been flirting with posting, but nobody's posted it yet, and nobody probably should. But occasionally we have brilliant ideas, or one of us does, and shares it with the group, and then we all just kind of think about it. So I'll show you that in a minute here. I'll wait until you jump off the line, and then you'll be able to see it on the screen. It's not good.
Oh, that'll work. That'll work. But man, the way you guys started busting their balls, and I started watching you on InfoWars on Alex Jones, and I was like, all right, this guy's speaking some truth. He was a whistleblower. He was on Carlson, and then after Bongino, he kind of just went away, and now he's on Jones. But Bongino had a problem with Jones for some reason. I wonder why.
Yeah, Jones is good people. He did a bit, and I was going to play it this morning, and I actually failed to. So maybe I'll put it on tomorrow. But he was having a talk with Nick Fuentes, and he was just talking about how much it's cost him personally, professionally, emotionally, like the whole thing. And he never got behind a politician before.
Through hell.
Yeah, he really has.
No, he really has, man. He has really been through hell.
Yeah, and the thing about Alex too, like I'll just tell you quickly.
Go ahead.
Having dealt with Bongino for whatever year and a half, and he had me on his program. Always a text message, hey, you want to come on? He would respond to my text messages. Almost never reached out to me proactively. Just kind of received what I had to say, responded minimally, that kind of deal. With Alex will just send me a message while he's like going to sleep. He'll be at his bed and he'll send me this like audio message, which will be like, "Hey man, like I was just sitting here thinking about this thing, and I was talking about this, and like I'm sorry about that. I'm in my bed right now. I'm kind of like I'm just laying down. I was in the hot tub, and now I'm all kind of lazy and tired. And anyway, I was gonna tell you." He'll just leave me these like rambling ass messages, like a buddy, like a bro. And I never got that from Dan.
That dude's wild, man.
He is wild.
That dude's wild.
Yeah.
I bet Jones is great, man. I bet he's great.
He's the same.
And next time you see him,
he's real.
Tell him Josh Obentak says hi.
I'm
a huge fan. I've been listening to that dude for over 20 years, man. And like I said, he's the one that brought me to you. And I'm like, I don't like how Bongino did this, dude. This is some bullshit. Because adding up, he was on a show, and then next thing you know, he doesn't speak no more about it. Cash Patel promises all the whistleblowers their positions, and you guys all got fucked. I apologize for the language on your show, but you guys all got fucked.
It's fair. Yeah, it did feel like that. Well, the only thing that made it okay was that I knew that was coming. It's not like I expected anything. I think I went on Jesse Waters pretty early on, and he said, any update on your whistleblower situation? I go, no, I expect to be attacked for the foreseeable future. And he just started laughing. He goes, well, at least you're realistic.
Carlson was damn near the same way. He kind of knew what was happening.
They all know.
It's almost like, I mean, he was like, well, you're gonna get thrown to the swamp, bud.
Yeah,
it was disgusting what all you guys went through. Oh boy, all you guys, it's nasty.
It was never going to be good.
It turns my stomach.
All right, you ready for this? I'm going to put it on the screen for people that are watching at home.
All right, brother.
All right, I'm putting this on the screen. This is just for you. This is the thing that we probably shouldn't put on a kind of screen. But give me a final thought if you like, and then I'll let you jump off, and you'll be able to see what people are looking at.
Hey, man, that's all right. I'm digging the show, man. And like I said, I'm a full supporter of patriots, people that are all about America, that see past all the bullshit. We're all about America. It's not about one party line versus the other. It's versus good versus evil, man. That's what's the bottom line. Common sense, critical thinking, not magatards versus libtards.
No, that's right. That's all true. I appreciate it, Josh. Thanks for calling in tonight. I hope you have a good night.
Right.
I appreciate it. I'll pass that along to Alex, too.
Hey, same goes to you, brother. God bless you and your family.
Same to you, bud. Thanks so much.
All right. Bye, bud.
Good night. That's always nice. It's nice to talk to nice people. What do you guys think? This is a TMZ not real tweet, but it sure looks real, doesn't it? It says exclusive. World's smallest penis owner is sorry for sending unsolicited nudes. I had to go to TMZ to see if this was real because my friend sent it to me and I didn't realize he created it, but he did create it. So there's some other guy, some weird looking Irish guy with a weird beard. And that's the real picture of it. So it's some story that TMZ did, but this one is pretty bad. This is a classic. Where's our breaking? Here it is.
Breaking exclusive. Breaking exclusive. Breaking exclusive.
Oh, it's so bad. If I post that on X, it's not going to go well. It just one day I'll get called in front of Congress and have to answer why I'm such a jerk. I'm sure of it. Okay, I want to finish the Maniscalco bit here too, and then you guys are welcome. If anybody wants to call and interrupt, I'm going to put another minute or two of this thing on, and then we'll wrap up pretty soon, close to 8 o'clock. So it's been nice talking to some of you. There's been no ladies called. That's what the chat is concerned. You guys are worried. If any of our ladies want to call in and check in, by all means. All right, here's Maniscalco finishing off the little bit there.
Sitting in my house a couple weeks ago, just relaxing. Got yourself a slice. Want a cup of coffee? We're gonna do. Want some Sanka? Yeah, that's old school. A lot of the young kids are looking at me like, "What is that? An iPhone app? What the hell is Sanka?" Your mother had a tin, brown and orange tin of Sanka, ready to go just in case the company. She put a big pot on the table. Go ahead. Nobody had a cell phone back then. If your house phone did ring, your father stood up and said, "Nobody get that phone. We got company." And you lost track of time. 2 hours went by. You were like, "We got to get out of here." That's okay. Next time we're gonna come by you. Be like, "Yeah, my door's always open."
Caller number, I think we're on to number 6. Good evening.
I will represent the ladies tonight, Kyle.
Lovely. Thank you for calling.
How are you?
I'm well.
Absolutely.
Did you have Sanka in where? Iowa?
I'm familiar with it, but I never drank it. I actually don't drink coffee
That's
at all.
fair. I never drank Sanka either, so that wasn't a thing for me. That's like a New York thing. My wife knew what it was, but it's not for me.
Oh, I absolutely knew what it was. I just didn't go anywhere near it.
That's fair.
Kyle, I'm looking for some advice, maybe. I'm living in cyber banking hell right now. I had a credit card that I had for literally 38 years. And the company that I had been sold to was going to sell the credit card to another bank.
Okay.
I'm tired of resetting everything up. You know how you have to set everything back up again, new sites and new numbers and this, that, and the other thing. So I canceled that card in May of 25.
Okay.
In December of 25, the cruise line that I was cruising with canceled my excursion at the Falkland Islands, which prompted me to have to get the other one, which caused the evacuation problems that I had. But so they refunded the money to the original credit card that I had.
Which is gone?
But it's no longer a number.
Right.
And so I called them immediately and they're like, "Well, you'll have to call your credit card company." So I called the credit card company and they said, "All we can see on your account is that you are closed." And so they were like, "Call the other company. Maybe that information got sent to them." So I called the other company. I'm not even a person in their system. I mean, I don't exist in their banking system.
Right.
And all the cruise line keeps telling me is like, "Well, you know, we refunded it. We can't just send you another refund and you'll have to call your credit card company." They've never been my credit card company. What are you not understanding? And, you know, if I were to lose $400 some out of my pocket, that would have been my fault. This money, you would think somebody could track it. I have a tracking number. I have some kind of transaction ID number,
right,
and nobody can look this stuff up. Why? I don't understand. Maybe somebody has an idea for me because I'm still looking for $420 and I don't have it. And it's been 3 months since it was canceled.
We got a pretty diverse experience range, so let's put it out to the crew out here. If you guys are listening right now and you've gone through this before, your bank account, you've made a transaction, then the bank account or the card number changes or closes to a different bank, and then they refund to nowhere. What's the move?
Yes.
Maybe you've been on one side of that from the bank.
Where does the money go?
Yeah, where does it go? How can it be shut down? And how can you track down the cash?
It's literally lost in cyberspace.
That's very frustrating. I don't have an answer for
It
that.
really is. And
My
I don't
answer
understand.
is high explosives. That's what George Hill and I agreed on. We think that you can solve all these problems with high explosives, but I'm pretty sure that was the plot to the movie Fight Club, right?
Yes.
It might be a federal crime, so it's not advisable for people to do that.
Yeah, probably not the best idea for me. But I will tell you, just to bring up a funny story, just so everybody can have a little bit of a chuckle at my expense. So I want to tell you how horrible of a person I am. Okay.
I'm here for it.
I am the type of person that if somebody falls down in front of me, I will laugh my ass off. Now, in defense of myself, if I fall, I'm laughing my ass off because it's hysterical. So way back when I started taking cruises, I was in Australia, and my mom was with me on that trip as well, on the same damn boat that we were on in the Antarctica. So we were going into the movie theater, and I hear this sound behind me, and then I turn around, and my mom had fallen. And she's literally spread eagle face down on the ground.
It's totally fine.
And
You can laugh at that.
I know. I laughed probably for 2 hours from that. So
that might be a little
in the
excessive.
Falkland
So
Island,
just as a general rule, that's
I know.
2 hours is excessive.
Like I said, I'm a horrible person. So in the Falkland Islands, my mom tripped on something and fell again. She grabbed onto a barbed wire fence in hopes of supporting herself.
Ow.
And it was just wire, so she just tumbled over. All I could think of was the first time that she fell.
This is not very
Literally
nice.
for the hour and a half
Hold on.
drive
How old is your
back,
mom?
I
How old
kept-
is your mom that you're laughing at grabbing barbed wire?
I know. She's 82.
82? I think after 75, you may not be able to laugh about mom falls anymore. That's not good. Yeah, you're right. Okay, all right. So
I'm just that kind of person.
I will agree with you.
Terrible.
That's pretty awful. I don't think you should do that. This is not a good confession. You should go to a real confession. You should ask God for forgiveness on that stuff. At a certain age, it becomes a life threat. Right?
All I could think of was the earlier fall. Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, she didn't fall hard. She wasn't hurt or anything.
It don't take much.
For the
Just saying.
No, it doesn't. But for the next hour, all I could think of was that the earlier fall, the later fall, and I tried so hard to stop myself from bursting out in laughter, but I don't know how successful I was.
All right, so Tracy,
I'm a horrible person.
clearly. So I'm going to make a recommendation. I'm going to have a throwback. We're doing throwbacks. There's people there talking about Tang in the chat and how it was astronaut.
Oh,
Orange
yum.
juice.
I love Tang.
Tang was terrible. And that Sanka was the coffee for astronauts, apparently. I don't know if that's true either. So I'm going to do a throwback. My son wanted two things for his birthday. He wanted one of those, I don't know what they're actually supposed to do. Like, it's a ball on a string with a paddle, but no one's ever played like a game with it. All they've ever done is like broken, glass, lamps, vases, right? Like, that's the purpose, I'm pretty sure, is that it breaks shit in your house. So he's got one of those.
Yeah, I used to play with those.
Yeah, so he's got a throwback version of that. And then he also got a whoopee cushion. He wanted a whoopee cushion for his birthday. And
never played with one of those.
Well, now I'm giving you homework. It'll set you back to maybe $3 on Amazon. Get yourself the original whoopee cushion, and then enjoy making fart noises at other people's expense if you have the possibility. It is very, very funny to 3, 4, 5, 7, and 8-year-olds, and it may be just what you need in your life as well. Put it under your old mom's butt and let her make some whoopee cushion farts. It doesn't really sound like a fart. It sounds like someone had like dangerous, aggressive diarrhea, like really fast, but it is funny.
Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness.
It's actually funnier when somebody else is laughing. For me, it's funnier watching my kids laugh than it is like, it's not funny to me, but watching my kids laugh makes me and my wife laugh. So there you go. Get an old school whoopee cushion and upgrade your life.
Yes.
Okay.
Everybody have a great night.
Good talking to you, Tracy. Now you have homework. So I want to hear about whoopee cushion. What do you call them? Pranks.
We'll do.
All right, dear.
All right, we'll do.
All right, have a great night.
Bye.
See, this is a family show, but You can't laugh at your 82-year-old mom falling, but you could make a fart joke. I think that'd be acceptable. And they really are something. They're still out there. They're still making them. People are still selling these darn things. So go figure. All right, now we get another call coming in. We're coming up on the edge here. I think we'll call the game on Encounter Range shortly. Caller number, whatever number you are, 7, maybe lucky number 7. Welcome to the program.
Well, hello, my friend.
I recognize this voice, Mr. Chaos. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right, Mr. Kyle. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I am.
Yeah.
Many things. Many things.
That sounds like a Donald Trump thing.
Yeah. Well, throwbacks. We got balsa wood airplanes that poke people's eyes out.
Got one of those recently. I'm going to be constructing it shortly. Yep.
Yep.
We got all the old
little
school.
Chaos.
Yeah, all the old school, whatever's.
Yeah, we did a balsa wood trebuchet.
Nice. I can get behind that.
Yeah. So, little Leonardo da Vinci.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
What was your counterweight in your trebuchet?
That I don't know.
Okay.
What was it? Oh, no. It wasn't. It's not the trebuchet. It's the catapult.
Oh, it's like a twisty catapult that you twist up rope?
Yeah. So it's got like spokes and strings, and it's got 2 arms that they cross, and then you as it tightens. I don't know. I'll have to post a picture of it on Locals. I don't know how to describe it, but it's the one Leonardo. It's part of a line of Da Vinci's inventions.
All right. Yeah, post a picture on Locals. People will be interested. We have a throwback audience for sure.
What else?
I saw a video. I saw a video. Someone just brought up lawn darts in our chat, and I saw a video of people using drones to kill feral hogs with lawn darts, and it is really unsettling on thermal.
Yeah,
I mean, it's badass too. Like, let's be real, it's freaking badass. They drop it from, I don't know, 150, 200 feet up, and that freaking thing comes down like a rocket and just penetrates the brainstem. So
yeah, that's the rods from God, right? That was that.
Yeah,
that whole idea?
Same idea. Yep, yeah, just high velocity freaking lawn dart darts, just zapping a pig right in the head.
And just seeing it on thermal.
And you can watch it on thermal. Yeah, you can see it fall. You can see the tail kind of like disappear down. It gets small, and then the pig just goes limp and falls sideways. People, now you guys have homework. Those of you watching on YouTube.
I mean, you got it. Really, how good an aim do you have to have? Well, I mean
obviously they've done some targeting on this thing. They know exactly what they know where it has to be on the screen for the drop at whatever the height is for sure. Because you'd have to calibrate that, but it's wild.
Well, now I got to start looking up. I don't even know what to search or whether or not what
drone lawn dart. Yeah, drone lawn dart hog. You'll find it.
Yeah, I'm afraid of anything else that I might find with that also.
Good point. Yeah, 100%. Definitely a good point. And you'll notice it's a thermal. It's a thermal in the thumbnail. I'm sure other people have done it. So.
All right. Well, we're going to war, I guess.
I guess we're doing it.
It seems.
The next thing you're supposed to say is, Kyle, that's what I voted for. Right? Say that.
Oh,
this
yes.
Is what I voted for.
I try not to vote.
It probably has the same effect at this point.
It 100% is. I lost faith a long time ago, man.
That checks.
A long time ago.
I don't blame you.
And unfortunately, if I saw, I mean, I wanted to believe. I did. I really did. I wanted to believe this go around. And no, we're getting the same thing we got 10 years ago, same thing we got 20 years ago, same thing we got 50 years ago.
Yeah, but luckily
same
we'll have
we
new
got
voters.
100 years ago. Oh, yeah. New voters and new new ideas, right? And then eventually the companies, they come in and they go, oh, that idea, let's point you in the direction of this idea and pay you a bunch of money.
It all
I
circles
don't think
back
it's
on
going
us.
to change anytime soon.
No, I don't think we're voting our way out of this one. Everybody I talk to about it, the more they think about it. There's a video. I might actually share it over on Locals. There was a one my buddy sent me, and his statement was something to the effect of, regular dudes are pissed. And it was a guy who just turned 40, and he said, here's all the crappy things that I know happened in my life, before I turned 40. And it's a lot. It's a lot of things. There's a lot of crises domestically. There's a lot of, scandalous things that happen globally to all people and that affected our country. And it's like, man, that's a heavy list. I mean, I guess every generation probably has it, but been a lot of sort of faith, faith disruptors in the last 40 years, for sure, for a lot of people.
And looking back on, I can't remember who it was. I was watching somebody and they were talking about the comparisons between this and, I think it was Sean Ryan. Sean Ryan had a guest on who was going through the comparisons of the fall of the Roman Empire and or the Roman Republic rather, and the rise of the empire, the crossing of the Rubicon, et cetera, and how that looked and what the parallels were. And one of the things that he cited was the fact that typically what happens in the fall of most civilizations is you have this trade-off of political will for long-term decision-making for short-term gains on money and power and influence.
Yeah, I mean, that's this administration right now, unfortunately. That's what I mean. There's no other way to describe what happened with Kristi Noem, I don't think. There's no other way to put that up there. How do you decide I'm going to go and drop $220 million on a freaking ad campaign with my face on it? And my guess is that she made the mistake of telling John Kennedy the other day, which we've played this twice now on the program, but telling a senator that Donald Trump was okay with it and he approved. The next day she was promoted to a new job that was less than the last job. That might have been the fatal flaw. If I was going to guess, I would say telling somebody the boss said I could do something when you're not allowed to do it. That's probably a fatal mistake. But yeah, I mean, there's an attitude about doing that for a lot of these people. It seems like they just want to grab whatever short-term comfort and then be, ruling over the ashes. I guess.
There's a really beautiful discussion about what generational projects look like, and the mentality of. I'll have to go back. I watch probably about 7 or 8 multi-hour podcasts every day.
Yep.
So I've got a lot. I'll have to go back. This was probably about 3 or 4 months ago. But what these guys were talking about was how. If you went back in time to when they were building the Sistine Chapel, the people who were building the foundation knew that not only would they not live to see
the completion,
the finality of it, but their kids and their kids' kids probably wouldn't even get to see it. Right. They were talking that 3 full generations of life and blood and sweat and toil to give to the world and the future generations of an idea that could only exist multi-generationally.
Yeah, no, exactly. And that they would never see it, and that was still fine. And then they still worked because they were on a team that was building something that needed to be built 100%. We don't have that mentality. We don't have that. We don't have that anymore. And I get why, but maybe that's why we're not building things that look like the things used to be built. I think you might have to actually care enough to know that even though your work was important for its own sake, not for what.
Honestly, I don't even think we have. I don't even think we have the knowledge or let alone the capability, like in terms of the willpower to do so. I don't think we have the knowledge to build things like they used to. There are a few very esoteric, like small sectors of different trades, but I think there's a lot of stuff that we've lost to the short-sightedness and of ease and comfort and immediacy.
Yeah, the only upside is I've seen some videos of guys doing refurbishing of some of these cathedrals and doing work on some of them that, restoring pieces of old masonry and things like that. And there are some people who don't know how to do it, but yeah, collectively it does seem like it's sort of phased out. I'm going to give you a final thought, and then we're going to see if there may be two more people that are trying to jump on the line here, and then I may have something funny for you guys to kind of close out. Final thought.
Well, this may be my last call-in for a while. I am going to be quite busy here for the next foreseeable future. So,
are you going to war?
I will try to make it when I can.
Okay. Are you going to go to war in Iran for us or no?
No. I'm going to go restore homes.
That sounds better.
And help people beautify their neighborhoods.
I was giving you a hard time, but yeah, that sounds way better.
I'm trying to build. I'm not trying to destroy, man.
Well, there's plenty of people doing one of each thing, so I'm glad you're on the build side. That's all good.
So,
all right, well, be safe with that.
All right, brother.
I wish you luck on your projects. Look forward to talking when you get back, Dak.
All right. Thanks, sir.
All right. Adios.
Have a good one.
There we go. Mr. Chaos out of Dallas. All right. Let's see what we got here. Caller number, I think we're up to 8. The Ocho. Welcome to the program.
Awesome. It's Renzo.
Hello.
Except it's not.
It's definitely not Renzo. I know Renzo's number.
No,
but I at least know Renzo's zip code, or area code, rather.
Yeah. I had to jump in and just harass him because he was like, me, get in.
He really wanted to, and so Dan decided to jump the line or jump the claim. Fair enough.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's going on, brother?
Love
what do you got? You just wanted to screw with Renzo?
Absolutely. Yeah, 100%.
That's so juvenile. You should explain to me.
I hope he feels the love.
Okay, so for those of you guys that are not cued in here, Renzo was one of our regular callers out of New York, and he's a pretty funny guy. And Dan just decided to screw with him because he was trying to get on the line. You better share more than that. What do you got? Dig into your bucket there, and what do you think? What do you think of the Tackleberry project? What do you think of what we got going on?
Dude, it looks sharp. It looks really sharp. I like the racks you got. You had mentioned the company you had sourced those from, it sounded pretty intriguing.
The the gun rack. Yeah. So I'll show a better picture of it shortly, but and people will be able to see it when it's on the screen. It looks super sharp. It's really, really functional. I think they have a brilliant stick. It's called Cradle Grid, so it's a patented
Cradle Bridge. Okay.
Design that they have. And it is the default sort of weapon storage system for a bunch of different military armories. I think they actually have the contract for the Marine Corps, for all of special operations in every branch, and Air Force, and a couple of others. I mean, they do it right. And they've started moving a lot of their stuff domestic. So a lot of their things that when I first bought them were made in Chinese are now made in America.
Oh, that's awesome.
So yeah, it's a neat company. I'm gonna have I'm gonna have an affiliate link from them. We'll be able to get whatever their best discount is. And then I'll get a cut of all the sales. So if you guys are watching it and you're thinking like, oh, cool, I want to have that.
That's awesome.
I'll break down what it is. I'll tell you what I think the best accessories are, because they ship like kits of accessories, and I don't think they all are great. So I can kind of help people understand like what's good based on what you have. I'm gonna get real like nitty gritty into it. So it's like, don't waste time buying this. Don't do this thing you don't need. But this is get 5 of these because these are the best. So.
Yeah, I've kind of been relying on your insight on a few things for sure. Of course, I got the Shield Arms pistol caliber carbine 9mm, which has been awesome.
Have you done a lot of shooting with it? So, did you get the folder or the not folder?
Enough. Yeah, the folder.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That thing is. And does it have what's the can connection on the end? What kind of muzzle device did it come with?
It didn't come with one. I have. alternative experiments that are interesting to me there. But
okay, I won't ask.
Yeah, may have to formalize that with a real can at some point. So
fair enough.
You know where my brain goes. But yeah, it's been pretty cool. I have it actually in one of the silent waterproof backpacks and kind of part of my whole respond to any emergency kit. So I have a whole med setup. I have kind of, just generally useful stuff, roller shrink wrap, 1,200 pound paracord, stuff like that. But
yeah, that's great.
It's kind of fun to put together.
Those silent waterproof bags are slick. They're really, really neat.
Dude, I got my hands on it. I'm like, this is quality at that whole different level. It was awesome.
So between just two guys talking and whoever happens to be listening on the Collins show after the fact, when I was talking to Aaron, who's the CEO of the company, he goes, we make the stuff overseas. We make the stuff in the United States. He said, for the money, there's no question that the overseas stuff is made just as well as our American stuff. It's actually harder to get stuff made well in America to do the right kind of sewing. And they've been slowly they've been up in their game. What they do is they have some better materials that go into it. And so they've actually, like when I got to see their American made stuff, the Berry compliant things this year versus last year, there's actually a bump up. They're actually better. But you're not losing out by buying the overseas stuff. It's made really well.
No.
I think they sew it in Vietnam. But yeah,
that's awesome.
It's
as much as I love USA made stuff, there are limitations to the budget. So
and there's a skills gap because it's not like we're putting that demand on everybody around here. You know what I mean? It's like we're not asking for American companies to do that, and most people aren't willing to pay for it. So by the people who do the work get really good at doing the work, and that's why you can get pretty decent stuff out of China now, which you didn't used to be able to get, but they keep doing more and more. And if you're willing to pay for the quality control, then you'll get it. Anyway.
Yep, it's kind of wild.
I like it.
True. Most recent was I picked up a Turkish shotgun, which I was like, okay, this is a big stretch, but
which one?
I was pretty impressed with the thing for being at $300. I did a GF25 G-Force.
Okay, and you like it? Is it magazine fed?
Yeah, so I got a 20-round drum for the thing.
Right.
It's so fun, and it's way better reliability than I thought. I thought the break-in would be really sensitive, and it was phenomenal. So
I've heard some really, really good reviews for Turkish shotguns, and almost all of them like punch way above weight for what they cost.
Yeah, like I'd love to upgrade at some point, but right now it's like, you know what, I want something practical on hand, and I don't want to have to worry about mishandling a pump. Not that they're not reliable, but there's ways to mess that up, right? So
yep.
Plus getting 20-round capacity out of something like that is like this. I don't know. It was a fun little.
Just say it's not gay.
Exercise that I think paid off so far.
Yeah, it's not gay having 20 shotgun rounds.
No. All right, man. I'll let Renzo through before I drag this out.
Yeah, he's exploding. He's holding his breath right now. And
should you want to take this call?
Kicking on the floor. Yeah, should I want to take his call? We'll think about it. Thanks for calling, Dave.
Right. No problem.
Right. A little bit of friendly rivalry. Never hurt anybody. Didn't hurt anybody. All right, so now the line's open. So one of you guys is going to race in to see what happens next. Look, I'm not in charge of who answers. Here's the deal. There's the Tackleberry project. That's the stuff we were just talking about right there. That little slat wall is called Cradle Grid. And I'll have a affiliate link that I'll put up there, which will get you guys whatever discounts we can get on it shortly, as soon as we go live with the Tackleberry show, which is going to be soon, very soon. So kick it off. All right, here he is. Caller number 9. Welcome to the program.
Hi.
You don't even sound like Dan.
Hola, mi amigo Kyle.
He got you good there. What do you think about that, Renzo?
Ultra got me there.
He got you.
I tried to time it, but the Rumble has like at least a 5-second delay as opposed to like on locals or on YouTube. Is what I've determined. So I found that kind of very interesting.
Oh yeah, you gotta game it. I see.
Yeah, because those are the things I'm looking at when I see how. Because I've noticed that with a lot of the people I follow, like when I look at their stuff, like on X or something like that, I all of a sudden have like problems with my devices, and I just wonder why that happens. Yeah.
I think we ought to. There was never really a name for what the Seraphin Show chat is, but I think we should call it the watch list.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I noticed, you know what's weird is I kind of first noticed that stuff when I started watching Bongino, like, maybe 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. And it's really weird that, like, 10 years later, we're all talking about, like, Google's reading everything.
They definitely are. Yeah, I hate the fact that the overhead cam, which we've got in this room, which is up here. Let me turn it on real quick. That camera, which sits up in the corner of my room, I'll walk in sometimes and everything on the screen is dark and the computer is basically in sleep mode and the damn the damn camera's on, and I just go, shit, what's it doing? Who's watching that camera?
I leave it on.
Yeah, who's looking? And here's the thing.
That's the first question I think is, did I leave that on?
It's supposed to automatically turn off with the rest of the system. It theoretically would go to sleep. It has a sleep mode setting, and if it's not being activated, it's supposed to go away. If it's not, having video demanded, so that's weird. But it also has got a microphone in it too.
Maybe do that, and somebody's turning it on in the middle of the night.
Yeah, I don't
never know.
I have no idea, and it's not helping me. It's not adding any value to me. So there you go.
Yeah, it's really weird how the whole last 2.5 decades has been about, hey, look at all of these new advancements. They're so awesome. They're going to help you so much, and they're going to make life so much easier for you. But you just have to let us, surveillance you, 100%, so we can make your life easier for you.
Yes,
and everybody just buys into that.
We're going to make your life easier, but we're always going to be watching you, so don't worry about that. Yeah. It's like...
Exactly.
It's like, why do you guys want to watch me? What's going on? I'm just pooping.
Yeah.
Why do you want to watch? Why do you want to watch a bunch of people? Everyone's pooping. Why do we have all these cameras? Why are all these cameras and microphones in here?
Yeah, and you know what I find is the and the whispering.
Everything's gonna be fine. Don't worry about it. We're just watching whatever you're doing.
Will be fine.
Yeah. Hypothetically, if there was something going on, it wouldn't matter because you wouldn't even know. So don't even worry about that.
Yeah, and by the way, pay us for it. That's the worst part of everything.
You are the product. You're the product. Don't worry about that.
That's what I always say to everybody. If the app is free or the product is free or something is free, that means you are the product.
You are the product.
Yeah.
You're the product. That's it.
Right. So, what I wanted to call in about was obviously I have to say, I have to give Trump credit today because after Border Barbie went out and did her whole humiliation yesterday, she he fired her. So kudos for that. Mark Wayne Mullen, I'm not sure about. I guess we'll see with him. I don't really think that it's going to be any different because I don't think Trump gives any care about what happens domestically. And right now, all he's continuously focused on is his foreign policy because he knows that the foreign policy will end up being his legacy. And that's all he really cares about at this point. So
apparently,
we're screwed when it comes to, getting accountability with respect to the FBI. Also, find it really humorous that today they voted to not release the slush fund information, and they did their whole little procedural thing.
It sounds like they actually just did release it too. So it sounds like, I saw Nancy May say that they went to committee, they voted it away to go to committee, and now it sounds like it's actually going to get released.
I think that's all just media PR.
I mean, it's totally possible.
Hopefully it does. I think that's just oh my God, this really sounds bad. Look at what people are saying. Even the people on Newsmax are saying this looks pretty shady here.
It sure as hell does look shady, doesn't it?
And that's my whole point. That's why I say everybody this is what I believe. Anybody who's in a pedo club is a pedo. Whether you're participating in being a pedo or not, you're in the club with the pedos, right? Isn't that like what the Epstein thing is?
I think so.
Congress is a pedo club. We obviously know that. They have a slush fund. All their staffers and all of the congressmen and congresswomen that have committed. And I will bet, and I don't know this, and this is just my opinion, that most of the people that are involved with this sexual harassment thing are women.
Oh, interesting. Well, we'll see. One of our chatters said that we had a pedsurrection and the pedos took over. So,
yes. So all of these people voted unanimously, with the exception of Clay Higgins, to release the Epstein files, but only 65 of you want to release these files.
Right.
And look at this. Now you got AOC on your side saying, yeah, we got to protect the pedos.
Gotta love it. I'm going to play you who we just got Mark Wayne Mullen, who's going to be the new DHS secretary. I got a funny moment when I was on Benny's show and he was the guest beforehand. So I'll give you final thought and then I'm going to kick you off here.
Okay.
Final thought.
Final thought.
Just tell us one
final
thing.
Thought. When people try to sell you this this Iran war.
I'm just going to whisper in your ear. Don't worry about that. That's just the thing going on.
Stop, worm tongue.
Don't worry about it. It's going to be fine. All right, fire away.
So I actually was disappointed with, for the first time, I actually disagreed with RSF. And it was when he decided to say, he decided to peddle the argument that most people in America don't know where Iran is.
That's
so
probably,
why should we care about this war?
That's probably true, though, to be fair. It's not a good argument, but it's also probably factually accurate.
Okay, so
such as the Iraq.
The argument is that I should agree with these people because they don't care, even though they don't even know where this place is.
No, I think he was saying that since they don't know where it is, most Americans don't know where it is, we shouldn't be getting involved in it. I'm guessing that's his argument, but I didn't hear that.
I understand that. I understand that, but if you really think about what he's saying is most people don't even know what this place is. And what does that really say? Does that not really say that Americans are really stupid? They don't even know where this place is.
Yeah,
but you
I think
should
that's what it
listen to these stupid people who don't know where this place is.
Oh, I think Steve would agree with me. The other day, he sent me a message and he said white landed voters was a feature, not a bug of the Constitution. So I think we're on the same page.
I know. I was kind of shocked because I was like, I heard some of the slop people being like, well, most of these people don't even know what an Ayatollah is, so why did we kill him? And I'm like, I could tell you what an Ayatollah is. He's a pedo, and we killed him. We dropped a bomb on him. We dropped a bomb on that pedo. Maybe we should start doing that to the pedos in America. Oh, but that would be, I can't say that because that's insurrection.
Yeah, that doesn't make people happy. All right.
That's my final thought.
Final thought is not positive, but it's acceptable.
None of this should be intended to think that I would do anything horrible. I do not. This is all done in jest and in sarcasm, and please don't try to arrest me for this.
There you go. Everything I said was allegedly, and what do I know anyway? The Ryan Matta version of it. No problem. All right, I'm going to play. Jump off the line. I'm going to play something that'll make you smile and let you know that we're totally not cooked and we have serious people that are in charge. You ready?
All right, cool.
All right.
Have a great night. Keep up the good work, man.
Good talking to you, Renzo. Bye. All right, here we go, folks. This is the new DHS secretary on the Benny Johnson show. Just before I went on, there's a reason why we call him Mullen the scapegoat. Not the scapegoat, the escapegoat. Yeah, stand by.
President Trump has done more to crack.
That is not what I opened up. What is going on here? I opened it up. President Trump is the best. That's frustrating. Hold on. I have to type in escape goat. I named the file properly. There it is. All right, let's freaking go.
It could be, but what you don't want is an scapegoat. So you don't want Elvis to be the scapegoat. Right now, Elvis is probably the scapegoat, but there was zero chance Elvis is making this call himself.
Somebody
Benny
who
knows
is absolutely here to diagnose a disease is the great Kyle Seraphin. Elvis still being in the building at the FBI. Let's go.
The scapegoat. He's talking about Elvis Chan.
Kyle Seraphin, I am sorry for the corny Elvis joke being in the building.
That was a good segue, actually. I thought that was great.
I've been trying, man. I didn't want to pull it with the senator, right? He's a very serious man. So I was like,
you know what? He's a serious man, but he's from Oklahoma. And did you hear what he just dropped on you? An scapegoat? That's not a thing. It's scapegoat. But in Oklahoma, they got special phrases and they say things in different ways. That I went to school in Oklahoma, so I have a lot of love. I'm a Sooner. I graduated from there. I'm going to drop this on you, and I'll send it over to the senator as well. When I was there, I had a boss while I was working at a computer company who kept saying things were cross-eyed bears. He would just go, I'd say I had a problem, and he'd go, "Oh man, that's a cross-eyed bear," and I'd be like, "Oh, okay, yeah, it's a cross-eyed bear." And then he would go and do it again, and he would say, "That's a cross-eyed bear," and I was like, "I don't know what the heck a cross-eyed bear is," just like I don't know what an scapegoat is. But he kept saying it over and over again. Finally, I repeated it back to him one time. He said something, and I go, "Dude, that's just a cross-eyed bear." And he's like, "What's a cross-eyed bear?" And then I knew something was wrong, and I realized it was an Oklahoma thing. And he just goes, Can you use it in a sentence?" So we did it again. He goes, No, son. A cross-eyed bear. It's a common expression in the South to say that there's a cross you bear. I just heard cross-eyed bear, just like I just heard a scapegoat. And you know what? Oklahoma's a special place. Like, don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
Think about this, Kyle. If we have so many serious things to talk about, but like, why not? All right, I'm from farm country in middle of nowhere too, in Iowa was where I was raised. You could be talking about an escaped goat.
That's right. It could be a thing.
It could, like the fence breaks, a goat gets out. Goats
You've got to go get it. You've got to track it down.
Animals. That's right. In the same way, animals. They can climb. They can jump.
Yeah. Cross-eyed bear. He's got troubles. A cross-eyed bear is a problem. It's walking through the woods. It's hitting trees. It doesn't have depth perception. Like, there's all kinds of issues that go along with that.
Are you ready for this one?
It's a cross-eyed bear, y'all. Could be an escaped goat. You don't want an scapegoat. That's not a thing. All right. You guys ready? It's been a little while. You guys haven't heard this song. We're going to shut it down. It's 8:30 here in Texas. I think we have a daylight savings time coming up soon, so we're going to lose an hour as we quote-unquote spring forward. Remember Donald Trump said he was going to fix that? We're at war. Daylight savings is still going on. Terrible. Anyway, let's enjoy this thing. I may play that clip again tomorrow morning, just so you guys are aware. Here we go. How do you start an F-16?
Brandon,
that is not the clip for the F-16. I'm falling down on the job. Here we go. That was my fault.
How do I start an F-16? The question's real. I stole an F-16. Flip the master, all the lights begin to feel. I stole an F-16. Set the fuel pump, start the number 2. I stole an F-16. Engines whining as the turbines chew. I stole an F-16. Turn the RER power on bright. I stole an F-16. Horizon centered, the line set right. I stole an F-16. Oh, watch the gauges and the needles climb. I stole an F-16. Wait till 20, it will take its time. I stole an F-16. Throttle back down to idle mark. I stole an F-16. Jet breathes deep with a rumbling spark. I stole an F-16. Unlock the gate and push it free. I stole an F-16. The bird comes alive with a roar of glee. I stole an F-16. Roll out the REL power on bright. I stole an F-16. Horizon centered, the line set right. I stole an F-16.
What? You can't park your car here, ma'am.
Are you blind? I don't think you can park there.
I know I can't park there!
Oh. Hey, you can't park here!
Fuck you, motherfucker!
Excuse me, mate. You can't park there, sir.
I know I can't park there.
Hey, watch out! It's gonna blow! Watch out!
Ma'am, you can't park your car here!
Are you serious?
You can't park that there, mate.
Fuck off!
Excuse me, you can park here.
Yeah, you guys can't park here.
No shit, really?
You can't park there!
That's what I said!
Hey, you can't park there. Appreciate you, bro. You can't park there!
You guys, you can't park there. But you still can't park. You can't park there. You can't park there. No. It's a park. You can't park there. You can't park this, huh?
I know I can't park here. What's your name? What? What is your name? Tony! Fuck you, Tony! What's your name? Ezekiel! Fuck you, Ezekiel! Fuck you! Fuck you! Hey, you know what I did last night? You better not bring my mother into this! You know what I did? You better not! I broke that fly over there! Oh! And I fucked your mother next to it! Fuck you, Ezekiel! Fuck you! Fuck you!
Thanks for listening to The Kyle Seraphin Show, streamed live weekdays on rumble.com/Kyle Seraphin. Follow Kyle on Twitter, Truth Social, and Instagram at Kyle Seraphin.